name is Marissa Bolero, and I'm the founding artistic director of Bolero Dance, which is a New York City-based dance company. And as an organization, our platform is to see and move and share in and through dance. Embedded Memories is about scars. It's about capturing personal histories and memories and translating them not only into a creative output through the use of gestures and creating dances, but also through encouraging people to talk about their scars and encouraging people to connect more deeply by sharing their own stories. For me, this piece is quite personal because when I ruptured my ACL, the world was also facing something really intense. It was the start of the pandemic. This has been an opportunity for me not only to investigate my own healing journey and my own process of how I come to terms with living in a different body and facing challenges head on, but also how to engage people, my dancers, my collaborators, my greater Bolero dance community, audience members, new people that are entering our community, how to engage them on conversations dealing with things like trauma or personal histories or memories and stories about your past.
Balance, Kinko, Michibiki, of me, Watashi no, Toyosa, Toyosa, Gio.
I know that you're keeping with the script. Is it possible for you to sort of pan left and right? So if you sort of come in and then you're here, that you could even do a couple here and then you can do a couple here, just so that you're sort of panning.
Try my best to get through 2 of these.
Yeah, I think that's great. And your
it,
pacing was great, your volume was on point, you started to get aggressive, that was great.
Okay.
Yeah. And all of that was very lovely. I won't even do that because he's filming and I don't want people to see what my rendition is. I feel like your vocalizing has to match. She's going crazy, you know? And so if you're like, Toyosa, Toyo, it's like, I can do that, I will. Like it echoes and reverberates beautifully. Higher and the sort of more punchy it can be, that like spitting and spouting. So this piece is deeply inspired by Kintsugi, which is a Japanese form of repairing broken pottery. And you may have seen this before where the cracks in the pottery are actually repaired, but you actually create a gold or a metallic embellishment, which literally draws attention and says, look at this scar. And so the dancers wear lighted pieces on their bodies. I worked in collaboration with an illuminated designer named Allison Patrick, and we collaborated building these lighting pieces that the dancers wear, as well as designing an installation space with, I think we're up to over 50 lanterns, ranging in size from about 6 inches to about 36 inches. As they start to sort of decompress.
So it's still more at her, I am innocent, or am I kind of retreating from the attack?
I am innocent
is
like, not a forfeit, more like a resolve.
Okay.
Like I've come to terms with that. Like I'm doing this, I'm doing it, yeah, la, 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 la. I'm innocent.
Weird question, who is innocent, me or her?
Well, you are her in this moment.
Okay.
So I guess both of you.
Got it.
When we have an audience in this space, specifically because these are such personal stories to us, and like Hana was commenting on how like this is very real for her, especially with her solo. I feel like she gets even more aggressive and like more anxious when there's actual bodies around.
Tonight, Embedded Memories, this version is presented as a trio, and we have Hannah Carney, Nicole Daniel, and Hannah Dillenbeck, who have been a part of the process from the very beginning. So I started asking them simple questions about a scar or a memory, something that they were willing to contribute to this process. And we met one-on-one and had really beautiful conversations. And from those, I extracted things that I thought were really interesting or fascinating, images that I got or details that I picked up on. And I went into the studio with each dancer and created 6 gestures. And each one of those had a significant sort of storytelling component. Could be related to something that they saw or heard, something about the impact of this scar. So it's really quiet now. We just had this big explosive solo that Hannah performs. And now there's this really intimate moment where you can imagine sort of, after you have a big fight with someone or you get some bad news or something really internally aggressive happens, when you have that kind of calm after the storm, and that's sort of what happens here. So it's kind of an extended period of silence. It's about 2 minutes when all is said and done, and I had thought about adding music or sound to it, and we've been working with Steve, our narrator, to get such a high volume so that there's a sense of yelling and banter, and she's moving very ferociously and frenetically, and he's sort of cackling back at her, and there's this sort of battle, and then the dissonance stops and there's silence.
Way more intense than I imagined. Sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. Sleeping was like lying in a coffin. I am restless, and I survive.
We sort of get the 12 and we come, so we've just come up, but I survived.
Okay.
Like as if somebody just you took an inhaler puff, that kind of you fill up your lungs, and then all of that hope or whatever it is filling your whole body now.
Sleeping. Sleeping was like lying in a coffin. I am restless, and I survive.
I taught all of the gestures to each one of the dancers, and which was really exciting at that time. They had no idea which gesture belonged to which person. They didn't really even know which gesture belonged to their story, because I was using their story as inspiration for creative dance making. So from there, I created solos for each one of them that would basically flesh out their story into a more narrative form. And we've been really, really particular about the kind of details that we want so that you are actually working to ensure that the intention of the movement is authentic. So the meaning may transfer, you can sort of pick up on it and feel, how does this affect me, or what does this make me think of, or how does this connect to maybe my own experiences, but that the authenticity is rooted in the intention of the movement. And so that's one of the through lines of this project. And so we've been building embedded memories and in tandem in conjunction with community imprints. So the company performance as well as this community component. And tonight at the Blue Gallery in Manhattan, we'll be sharing both.